Lead Time is a weekly dose of leadership insights and interviews from Tim Allman and Jake Bessling. Lead Time is for any leader living in a busy world looking to be inspired, equipped, and empowered to lead others to their fullest potential. This is Lead Time.
Welcome to Lead Time. My name is Jake Bessling. I'm here with Tim Allman.
Boom. Great day to be alive, Jake.
We are loving this Lead Time podcast. Thanks for listening. And you are in for a real treat today. And as you know, we believe that eternities are changed when a leader grows. And so thanks for checking in today. Wherever you are, in your car, in a workout, in your office, as a leader, intentionally looking to grow your leadership muscles. And so we have such a guest, an honor to be interviewing our town's mayor, town of Gilbert.
What?
Mayor
Daniels?
Jenn Daniels. Jenn Daniels, welcome to the show.
You guys made that sound so exciting.
Oh,
So thank
it was
you for
exciting.
welcoming
It is
me.
exciting. We are pumped.
I've never heard my name said like that, so thank you. That was amazing.
This is the best town on the face of the planet.
It is.
Jesus is good, and he gave us Gilbert, Arizona.
I
that we get to be a part
wholeheartedly
of.
agree.
So we have stories. We're just getting to know one another. I'm from Colorado. I've been a pastor here for just about 7 years. Jake has been a church leader here for about 15 now. Gee whiz. And he's from Houston. So tell us kind of where you're from and a little bit of your story that led you to be the best mayor on planet Earth.
Oh, well, that is a high platform to fall from. So we'll have to be careful that doesn't happen. But I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. I grew up in Oakland, California, and ended up going to school in Utah and made my way in 2000 to Arizona. So moved here.
What university?
I went to Brigham Young University
BYU.
in
Love it,
Provo.
love it. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. What'd you study?
I was a humanities major, which means I'm fully qualified to volunteer in the Gilbert Historical Museum. And that is
Exciting,
about
exciting.
what I'm qualified for.
Do they question you on that?
Yeah, I know, right?
No.
I just loved the classes. I loved culture and people, and I loved seeing where art mixed with real history and heritage, and I just loved those classes. I actually do think it was good training for being a mayor, and I didn't know it then. Of course, never knew that was the path, but happy to be here. Moved to Gilbert in 2005 and then ran for office in 2008. Got elected in 2009 as a council member for the town of Gilbert.
Did you come in 2005 thinking, hey, I want to get into politics. I want to be in the town scene?
Absolutely
What?
not. I was
Okay.
a mom of two little boys at the time.
Okay.
Had another boy in 2007. And I think folding laundry and sort of doing the normal mom things. I watched Channel 11, which at the time was our community's channel where you could watch council meetings and other kinds of towns meetings. And
That's cool.
apparently there wasn't very much on TV at the time. I'm pretty sure we didn't have cable.
Before Netflix,
Exactly.
all that. Yeah.
Before
And
there were
that just like sucked you in.
before
watching
there
that?
were podcasts.
Whoa, yeah, before this.
That's right. And so I just looked at the current makeup of the council at the time and thought, I think I could represent a voice that I know exists here. I see lots of people in my stage of life, and I think I could represent that voice on the council. So
Wow.
went
awesome.
for it.
Yeah, so what is that growth and those experiences that added up to you being voted mayor of the town?
I had a really lots of amazing interactions with business leaders over the years as a council member, and first never saw myself running for office at all, but felt that calling. And I laugh a little bit now. I'm so glad that I didn't know then what I know now, because I think I would not have been as bold as I wanted to be. So sometimes not having all of the knowledge or all of the pieces is actually a really good thing.
Yeah.
And I had a great business leader tell me years ago, I never want to have to say no to an opportunity because I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
So what am I doing to be ready for whatever that opportunity is in 2, 4, 6, 10 years from
Whenever
now?
it comes.
You don't know. So what am I doing to prepare myself now for whatever that might be? And that means continual growth and looking at opportunities. And when some people see challenge, you see
Opportunity.
an opportunity.
Yeah. Isn't it cool to be a young leader? Like, I've been a pastor now for 13 years, and leaders accumulate wounds and struggle, and it can lead us to see challenge and like, oh my goodness, here comes another kind of this is going to be hard, and I don't know if I've battled, and you can have that sort of mentality. So what is it for you now, having been in this role for some time, that like wakes you up and you're like, yeah, I'll do a podcast with two guys I haven't met at a church here in our town. Yeah, that sounds cool, but to have that sort of optimism, that sort of hope and joy that obviously is found in you. How do you continue? Because you walk through wounds and struggle for sure, I can guarantee it.
No doubt, we all do.
Yeah.
I've changed my perspective quite a bit about challenge over the last several years, because there are really hard things in life, whether it's death of a loved one or, despair within a family or kids that are struggling and all those different things that we deal with. I've started to look at life more as this grand adventure.
I love that.
And these are little adventure pieces that are happening in our life that are meant to make us grow. They're by design to help us stretch. And that's why it hurts. And I will get a little religious for you, even though I'm very much in a secular thing. But Jesus' life was not easy. It was very painful. Why do I think mine should be without struggle? Yeah. Mine's going to be with struggle. It's really how I capture that struggle, internalize it, and turn it into an opportunity, and changing that mindset from, oh my gosh, this is a challenge, to this is just one small segment of my great adventure. Yeah. Has helped me look at things differently.
So Jesus says, in this world you will have, you will have trouble.
That's right.
But take heart, I've overcome the world. And Jesus, John 10:10, said, I came to give you life, and life to the full. Not a ho-hum, just waiting for another shoe to drop, half full glass. No, I mean, it's an overflowing life to give your life away. And through the struggle comes, we see Jesus, because you're exactly right. Because that was his trajectory.
And it's easier to go through those struggles, I think you would agree, because we know what Jesus went through and what he did for us. And then we know the end of the story, that we ultimately win with a new heaven and a new earth and being with God. So let's go there for a moment, and we'll kind of get back to your life. But tell us about your walk with Christ and what kind of norms you and shapes you with that. And so we have various perspectives on our show, and we'd love to hear yours.
Yes.
Yeah, ultimately, I think it comes down to the fact that I love people. And I thought that I loved people before I was the mayor. And maybe there are some mayors who love people less after they're the mayor. My experience has been completely the opposite, where I see people from a very unique perspective doing really incredible things and living into their strengths and living into their purpose every single day. And it's inspiring for me. It makes me want to do better, and it helps me to love them. I tell this often, especially to our youth, that they have been given gifts, talents, skills, abilities, and experiences that no one on the earth has ever had and no one will ever have again, which is a great also responsibility, because it means that you can do things that no one else can. And so we have to figure out what that path and mission really is. So another thing that's really come, I think, full circle for me, and I don't know that I realized it till the last year, but there are two great commandments. We know this: love God and love others. But we missed the second part of the loving others, which is as thyself.
Yeah.
And we sometimes think that loving ourselves is selfish. And it can't be. It's actually the third piece of those commandments.
That's right.
And so I think we need to take some time to appreciate the gifts, talents, skills, abilities, and experiences that we've had and what that means about what we can give back.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. And so as a leader, too, with your faith, we talk a lot about spiritual rhythms and what norms us, and how do you get up in the morning and own your morning, own your day, and
love it,
and all of that kind of stuff. And so we both, spend time with the Word, have certain podcasts that are Christian, that are speaking into us, open up the Word. Like right now, I'm reading through the whole Bible. It's like, man, I'm a pastor and I haven't read through the whole Bible,
Come on,
cover to cover since high school. I got to do this. And so that's really norming me. Take a 10-minute walk every morning and pray for my family and our team, and then look up to the heavens and think, wow, God's got this today.
Yep.
It's all in control. Tim here rides his bike every day and does the same kind of things, pouring through the Gospels and the Psalms, and it really shapes us. So what are some of those daily rhythms that are spiritual and physical that really shape you to be an awesome female leader?
It sounds like we have a lot of the same morning hours, and that's a good thing. But I do wake up early. I've been blessed to not need a lot of sleep in my life, which has been helpful because we're juggling a lot, right?
Sure,
we all are. But I wake up early. I make sure that I start my day with prayer and meditation, and I read and I exercise. And my exercise is kind of varies based on the season. I love hiking. I love being in nature. I do feel close to God when I'm there. There's a reason why, Moses went to the mountaintop and so many others.
Adam and Eve were put in a garden.
Yes.
Said explore,
yes,
enjoy,
exactly.
multiply.
Like we are meant to be enjoying this amazing earth that we've been given. So I do love to hike, but it's too dark in the morning right now,
right.
the winter. So summertime actually is my favorite time to hike early, but I'll do yoga or some other type of, walk or run. If I'm feeling really ambitious, I might run.
So, man, this is so good.
It's awesome.
2 follow-up questions. Do you drink water in the morning?
Lots and lots of water.
Yes.
Yeah. So water is a great way to start. Are you an advocate for water?
I'm a strong advocate for water.
Yeah.
First thing.
No, absolutely. I have always water on my nightstand. It's one of the first things I do.
And then you vary up your morning routine, which is really, but there are some staples.
Yep.
Water, movement, meditation, learning.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of convergence there. So good. All right, so let's pivot a touch. Gilbert is amazing. In 1985, about 15,000 people were a part of the town of Gilbert, and today, what are we? 225, 250?
Keep going. We're at 260.
70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at
And
260,000
the ceiling,
people.
I mean, where are we going to be even in the next decade? Because there is like a limit. We're kind of landlocked a little bit for how the town can grow in the next handful of years. Where we're going to be?
Yeah, we're absolutely landlocked. We anticipate build out at 330,000 residents in the
Another
next
70,000
decade.
in a decade. 70 more thousand people, and then you better get in if you want to join the town of Gilbert.
Come on.
Like, it's going fast, man. So
I'm always recruiting.
Exactly.
Do you have a stat about like how many people are moving to Gilbert or
On a daily basis, no. I know 200 people a day are moving to Maricopa County.
Wow.
And I
I'm
heard
not sure
300 a day to Arizona.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's incredible.
it's
We
just a
do
lot of
have
people.
this will blow your mind. We have a kindergarten class being born every day in the town of Gilbert between our hospitals.
Wow.
So a new kindergarten class every day in Gilbert.
It's extraordinary. Median age,
33.
33. I think it's gone down.
It's gone up a little bit. It was
Has
30,
it?
31 when I started on
Okay.
council in 2009. I was below the median age, and now I am well above the median age of Gilbert.
Yeah, so good. So what do you love? Just go off on Gilbert for a minute. What do you love about our town?
Yeah, I'll just go back to the people. I often will say that I stand on the shoulders of generations of leadership who care deeply for this community, but the people care deeply. When I often am asked to describe Gilbert, we are a family-friendly, faith-based community. We have 60 churches in our community. I have 80,000 school-age kids. Wow. Education is a pillar of our community. We have one of the highest median incomes, but also the largest household sizes in Arizona. So more kids, but also I think that means more joy and more purpose. And I think I see it in our residents every day.
Well, we're building out the different parks and all of that. And I got here in 2005, and I remember going downtown Gilbert Road, and between Elliott and Guadalupe, and there was Joe's Barbecue. Now, Joe's, you guys are doing a great job, but I am partial to Texas. But I love the scene. I love the tractor inside. I love that you got to go back in to get the refill through the line. Mm-hmm. It's a great environment, and really to still see Joe and that whole industry grow into different types of food. It's incredible. But across the street was like a different restaurant all the time. Every couple years, I forget even the names, but like a Midwestern kind of steakhouse and
Grain Belt.
You'd look outside of Amazing Joe's Barbecue and see these changing restaurants. And now I hear people are flying to Gilbert just to eat downtown Gilbert on their way to California or something like that. So can you get us kind of behind the scenes, behind the curtain on the evolution of downtown Gilbert, maybe some of the big ideas there, and who really sparked a lot of that and some of the history?
You bet. So when I first came on council in 2009, they made me the liaison. When I say they, the mayor gets to choose who the liaisons are, and he made me the liaison to the Redevelopment Commission, which was the Heritage District. And he gave me that assignment because nobody else wanted it. And I was the new council member, so you get the last pick. And at the time, Liberty Market had just opened, but we were also in the middle of the Great Recession.
And also owned by Joe
Yes,
Liberty.
Joe has business partners for all of his restaurants.
Okay.
So Joe does own it and then partners with another individual. So a different individual for each location. And I just remember we had meetings and meetings and meetings talking about what the potential of the Heritage District looked
Wow.
like. Now, we're going to have to rewind about 3 decades because the council at the time started purchasing one parcel of land at a time. And their effort really was to reduce blight and also to find these homes that had been built, 100 years ago in our community and ensure that those didn't become areas where we saw, blight and crime and other things. So councils made an effort and were very intentional about purchasing just one lot at a time. What that allowed us to do was to assemble large tracts of land, which we would not have had that opportunity had they not had that foresight. So we wanted to create energy in our Heritage District. So even in the downturn of the economy, we started working on bringing events to downtown. So the farmers market started, great people that we were able to partner with, no farmer. We had no farmer for 2 years at the farmers market.
That's interesting.
Because they didn't see the vision yet.
Okay.
As soon as we started getting farmers, it's the largest farmers market in Arizona now.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It is extremely well attended. There is one dog for every 2 people that go to the farmers market. People are so happy to bring their
It's
pets
a great
down.
vibe, good atmosphere.
Now we also have the Gilbert Art Walk and Made with Love Market and all these fun things downtown. The restaurateurs that invested in our community, we tried to show them demographics. We tried to, this is you want to be here. It took one very influential restaurateur to be vocal about the success that he was having in the Heritage District.
I want to guess. Oregano's? No.
He did good,
Okay.
but they sold out, right, to corporate.
Are you
So
talking Joe in particular?
I'm talking about Postino's, Craig DeMarco.
Oh, Postino's.
And he was
good.
really vocal. So I kind of give him some of the credit, right? Because he took a chance on us.
Right.
And he is a very well-respected restaurateur in Arizona. He told a few people,
Boom.
and I think that started the domino effect. And success begets success. And so others found value in the area and also in the people that were coming.
Yeah, so what are the future plans for downtown Gilbert?
Oh, we're just getting started.
I know. I want to hear it.
So
you tell us more?
We're excited about the university building that we have in the Heritage District, which now has Park University, 300 students every day.
Wow.
And then we also have the University of Arizona. They've brought the first Bachelor of Integrated Nursing to the Heritage District, to
Wow,
our
that's
university
awesome.
building, and are looking again to expand and look for other opportunities. So we're going to continue to have that vibrancy. We've got office buildings, large office buildings that are ready to open in the Heritage District, and more development coming. So what we want to do is increase that daytime population,
Yeah.
make sure that there isn't even a dry spot in the day, and that will encourage those business owners to continue to grow and succeed.
I've been to the White Rabbit.
Kinda cool.
Yeah, it's like you even have this this bar that's underground. It's pretty incredible. There's
Yes.
like everything downtown Heritage District. Looking back on that story, though, we talk a lot here about a book that we've read, Canoeing the Mountains. You should read it, Canoeing the Mountains, and Lewis and Clark adventure. They went into the Northwest Passage thinking that they were gonna take their canoes down the Columbia River, and they saw the Rocky Mountains. And so it was uncharted territory, and they had to adapt, and they had to do this new thing. And so in your story, just that, you were given this assignment as a young leader, and you said, all right, let's start something new and really test it out and see what would happen, this lean startup model of building, measuring, and learning. And so just to highlight that as leaders, if you're stuck and you're like, I got this assignment and it looks bleak and it's uncharted territory, in love to the community, to the people you serve, use the giftings of the people. And you had people come out, I'm sure, at that first market that wasn't a farmer yet, but you had people that's like, wow, this is awesome. I get to sell these different items and bless the community. And then the farmers started to come. Then the relationships started to build. So leader, do something and start something new in love.
Yeah, so good. So you did that for an extended period of time, a lot of success. So when it came down to 4 years ago saying, I think God has prepared me to take the next step in my leadership journey to explore being a mayor. Tell us that story. How did you discern that, man, this is the right next thing for me?
Yeah, before God told me that I was ready, I doubted a lot.
I'm sure.
And which I think is a natural instinct for us to say, am I ready? Do I have the skills that it's going to take? We've been blessed in Gilbert. We have had an incredible mayor in John Lewis, who he and I were both elected at the same time. That was the first time really I'd met him, was when we were both elected. Great mentor, great friend.
John was so
believed
hospitable to us when we first came.
Absolutely
Unbelievable.
adored you guys.
Well, next level leader. But he was a mentor to you.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and he saw things in me I didn't see in myself, and was willing to share those, and had confidence in me, and gave me assignments that maybe I wasn't ready for yet, but was willing to kind of hold my hand through those. And so I'm extremely grateful to him. I miss him every day. I wish he would. I've said to him, if you want your job back,
You can come back.
let me know.
So did he call you kind of his apprentice? Did he make that known? I'm curious, kind of the behind the scenes of that sort of transition. Was he grooming you actively for this role?
It didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like I was a project. It didn't feel it. I think because of who he is, it was a genuine just appreciation for the gifts, talents, skills, abilities, and experiences that I had, and he wanted me to live into that and saw that value in me doing that. About 6 months before I actually committed to running, he did ask me, would you be willing to run for mayor? And my initial reaction was no. I had a daughter while I was in office, so she was 4, almost 5 at the time, and getting ready to go to kindergarten, and 3 other boys, and my life is busy and full, and I like it that way. But I just didn't know that if I had the ability. And he was also the type of leader where he spent 80 hours a week doing the job of mayor.
Wow.
And I don't have that time. My first priority is mom.
That's right.
And so I had to figure out, how do I do this really well and do it my way? And that took a lot of, I would consider it soul searching. You talked about how you got to do something, right? It's the design of the experiment. I'm going to try these things, and I'm going to really map out how I want to lead, and be confident in that I'm going to do it my way.
Wow.
Because we often try to fill other people's shoes. It's the most disservice we can do to the people that we serve.
We have a campus here that has a preschool and a school with hundreds of moms in our church and school community, and it's all over Gilbert. But can you speak directly to the mom that's kind of questioning that vocation and also wrestling with, like, what else am I going to do in life? Where's my identity? And so you spoke around it, but like, what's 30 seconds that you would speak directly to the mom out there? What do they need to hear?
There's no such thing as balance. You're never going to be the balanced mom and employee or business owner that you want to be, because balance doesn't exist. Balance would be equal to perfection, and there was only one person who's ever lived on the earth that was perfect. So, and it's not us. And so let go of some of that. And my personal motto is be where your feet are. If I am at
We
town
say that
hall,
a lot.
you do.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good. I should have known.
We are
But
here.
There's a great painting that I actually have, and I oftentimes refer to it, but it's a painting of a woman. She is clearly juggling many things, and there is a look on her face where she is both worried and overwhelmed, but also completely satisfied and content. So look for those moments. And I have a little practice that I do where when I am feeling that overwhelm or that pull one way or the other, it's really to engage all of my senses right where I'm at. So try to see things really clearly, take a really deep breath, make sure that I feel my body and understand, where I'm at, both spiritually and physically, emotionally and mentally, and really try to
self-audit.
absolutely, like, okay,
presence.
recenter, because you need to be your best wherever you are, whether that's you're cutting up bananas and getting your kids off to school, or you're, out leading a meeting and focusing on, youth suicide and prevention. How can you do that?
So, female, mom, leader, you are enough. Jesus loves you. He's proud of you. And you have an invitation today, even right now, to be where your feet are and to rest in his unconditional love and grace. So you led in a different way. You were saying, Mayor Lewis, God bless him, 80 hours. That ain't going to be me, right? So what is your kind of rhythm of work, and how did your team kind of respond to a different rhythm?
Yeah, we have the most incredible team at Town Hall, and I say this all the time. I do nothing alone.
That's right.
Absolutely not. It takes 4 people on my council to get a vote, but it takes, 1,400, 1,500 now to make the town function in the way that it does. I am one cog in a very big wheel. And thankfully, there are people who are really supportive and understand that my first priority is as a mom. So I make sure that I don't leave till my kids leave for school. And there were some adjustments that had to happen when I first came in, and meetings that used to start at 7:30 now start at 8:30.
But they still get done.
They still get done. And what I found is that I wasn't the only one that appreciated the fact that they could get their kids off. So I was nervous about shaking things up a little, but I got a lot of, hey, thank you so much. Yeah. Now I'm getting my kids off to school too. And I'm having more time in the morning to do my routine and making sure that, things we think are going to be inhibitors to our success can actually be catalysts. Yeah. I think if you just live into those things. So I make sure that I'm home from 3 to 5 every day too, because those are what I call the witching hours. Yes. You don't know which way they're going to go.
Yes.
And critical times for my family. Yeah. So whether it's getting food ready or, getting the download on the day, whatever it might be, it's really important that I'm home during those times.
And we haven't mentioned your husband yet. What's his name? What's he do? How does he help make this whole thing work?
Yeah, so we have an interesting sort of family situation right now, but he definitely does his part, and I know he cares deeply for the town as I do.
So good, so good. So, man, I have had so much fun hearing your story. And I want to know, as a mayor, so Jake and I are pastors here, what are the questions that you keep right in front of yourself all the time to keep the town of Gilbert on true north? You've got to be asking these questions over and over again. 1, 2, 3 questions that kind of norm your true north.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a City of the Future initiative. There is a historical way for cities to have a increase in prosperity, to sort of plateau, and then you see a rapid decline in the quality of life in those communities. We are here to break the city cycle. And so we are asking ourselves what we are doing, why we are doing it, and what we hope to accomplish. We ask those 3 questions over and over and over again.
Can you say that slower again? I was
Absolutely.
Really good, because there's a lot behind those questions. To say, yeah.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Why are we doing it?
Yeah, keep why, Simon Sinek.
And what do we hope to accomplish?
Yeah, so
what do we want
outcomes.
the outcome to be?
Right.
Yep, exactly.
That's beautiful. Man, I bet you have been blessed, listener. I know we have, from this phenomenal leader. In your time as mayor, so that was since 2016, and you're up for re-election then?
I am.
Coming up, and you're going to be pursuing that continually? You should continue on, yes?
You have to be told, right, to do these things. You really have to be told to do them. So
do them. Do it. Well, we will vote for you.
I meant by the higher power, but thank you.
However that works, we will vote for you. In your time, though, what is kind of like, this is really one of the most things that I am proud of. We talked about Heritage District and other initiatives, but what is that one thing that you're like, I hope that really leaves a legacy for the town of Gilbert?
I hope that 10 years from now, councils can build on the foundation that I've built or that I've contributed to. I'm not big on legacy. I'm not big on, what did you do that has your name on it or that you can point to. I will know that I've done a good job if councils 10 and 20 years from now have more opportunities than what I had today, that I've built that foundation or contributed to that foundation that has continued to propel Gilbert forward. So call me in 10 or 20 years or something. We can talk again about that.
I love the humility in that response, but really building people is the job. And so you're focused on this core group of building them, and then they're going to outlast, anything that you do, and it'll continue to get better and better. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you, Jen. This has been a lot of fun. Is there? So, Victoria, your assistant is here today. Thank you for hanging out with us, sister. It's your birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Valerie.
What do you love? Did I say Victoria? I meant Valerie. Sorry about that, sister. Yeah. I'm a goofy dude. So what do you love about being around a Valerie and other young leaders? What's inspiring about them? Because you just in the 5 minutes I was talking to you, really, really impressed with who you are, how God's hardwired you. So what do you love about the next gen of leaders?
I think they are more purpose-driven than any generation that has ever lived. I think millennials specifically get a bad rap, and I'm quick to defend them. I'm not part of that generation, but certainly appreciate the idea that they are more savvy, more directed, more purpose-driven than anyone that I've ever gotten to meet and really engage in. So when we talk about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what we hope to accomplish, these are the individuals that can answer those questions and help guide us. And so they need to tap into those strengths, and we need to give them space to do that.
Wow, that's awesome. Where do you see like a lot of the young leaders in Gilbert, maybe in their 18 to late 20s, kind of leading the town, or different examples of that in Gilbert?
I see them engaged at all levels, whether it's there's a couple that are on council and running for council. We've got young people that are starting their own businesses and that are just starting their families, and you're seeing this sort of evolution occur as they become parents. I see them contributing to boards and commissions and in their own churches. I just see incredible people giving back all the time.
It's beautiful. So we're Christian pastors at a Christian church that has been here for 35 to 40 years or so, with different iterations with the school and preschool. And sometimes as leaders, we can be very siloed with our own stuff, our own church, and we don't want to work with other churches or other religions or other communities. What would be your biggest advice, Mayor, to all of the religious leaders in this town?
That's good.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, so our ability to be connected is also our ability to be effective. And so we are and have a great influence in our current spheres. But when we extend those spheres, we have the ability to influence far beyond that. And I think the collaboration piece is the key. We have some major challenges. As great as Gilbert is, we're not immune to some of the challenges that we're seeing all over the country, one of which I'm particularly focused on, which is youth mental health and suicide prevention. And it's heartbreaking to see the generational effects of suicide. And so this is going to take a total collaborative effort. There's not going to be one school or one church or one, community nonprofit that's going to be able to solve this. It's all of us working together. And what I have found is when you get diversity of thought around a challenge, that solution is so much better than if you get one group or one sort of mindset focused on that. So not only do we need our pastors and our priests and all those who are involved in our faith groups to contribute, we need them to be bold in their assessment and in their guidance and in their direction to speak their truth, because the collaborative effort, the actual outcome, will be so much better and so much more effective.
Do you have forums that are gathering consistently for
We do.
leaders to talk about some of these major struggles?
Yeah, we do. And there's a couple different ways to do that and to get involved. And I know every community has, some effort around this, whether it's, behavioral health and healthcare in general. There's just so many options and ways for people to get involved. But absolutely, if you're not in Gilbert, come find me. But if you are in Gilbert, come find me. If you're not, there's going to be another path for you.
Yeah, so good. Last question to close. This has been legit.
Amazing.
What book are you reading? Readers or leaders, leaders or readers? So yeah, drop a good book read on us.
So I'm in the middle of a trilogy, and it's a
You're
good
committed.
one.
Like
And
fiction?
no, this is good.
Okay.
It's The Obstacle is the Way.
Okay.
And then the second part is Ego is the Enemy. And the third book is Stillness is the Key.
Cool.
So,
author? Do you know the author?
Sorry, I
We will
should
look
know
it up.
that.
That's right. We do that all the time as well. It's cool.
But it's
What do you like most about it?
challenging my thinking.
Okay.
It's not. It's written really well and brings a lot of history and historical figures to show examples. So the history part, nerd in me loves that part too.
Wow.
This has been awesome. I mean, what a heightened joy in the room, from just your smile to your personality to your humility, your leadership within your family, the boundaries that you have called out and helped other people through that, pouring into older generations and younger generations, a hope and a future for this life, but also into the next, and not being afraid to lead boldly as a female leader in this town. It's an honor for us to call you our mayor. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, and thanks for doing what you're doing so well. I meet students from Christ Greenfield Church all the time, and good people all around.
Thank you. We believe that eternities are changed when a leader chooses to grow. So grow today. Sharing is caring. Get the word out about Lead Time. Thank you, Mayor Daniels. God bless us. Stay.
You.
Rock it. Yeah, baby. We made it. God is good.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Jake.
Bye.
Sorry.
You have been listening to Lead Time with Tim and Jake. Please subscribe at cglchurch.org/leadtime. Thanks for listening. Tune in next Monday for another episode.